Hello everybody. In this particular course, we'll be talking about the importance of business referrals or sales leads that we receive from our colleagues, from our company, or even from our members that come from our networking circle. But hold that thought. Before I go into the details, I would like to also narrate a very interesting story about Steve that is actually connected to this particular topic. So Steve was a very talented actor, but unfortunately he was not getting a lot of assignments, and because of that he was really depressed and he was not doing very well for himself. Anyway, one day he happened to attend a community meeting where he met a lot of influential people, and he started networking with all of them, just trying to look for an opportunity that could change his life. But then he also realized that the party was getting a little too boring, so he decided to entertain everybody. He went on stage, he started cracking jokes, everybody loved his humor, they all clapped every time he spoke, and he was an instant success that night. Next day, someone called him and said, "Hey Steve, I happened to see you at the community meeting. I think you're extremely talented. I'm the manager of TYC Theatre, and I would like to give you a chance to go on stage and do your stuff. A lot of directors come to my theater, and who knows, if you're a success, they might even give you some assignments, and that could change your life. But the thing is, you have to be there today in the evening by around 6:30, otherwise the deal is off," and he hung up. So Steve started thinking, TYC Theatre, that's really far, it's out of town, how do I even get there? I don't even have the money, and he just went back to sleep. So after about 2 hours, his subconscious mind started banging his head and said, "Get up, this is a great opportunity. What are you doing sleeping? Do something about it." So Steve started thinking, how do I get there? So anyway, he jumped out of his bed, he wore his dress, and he started walking on the street looking for a lift. But unfortunately, nobody was stopping their vehicle. So all of a sudden he noticed that his neighbor was moving houses because there was this pickup truck outside his house, and he was filling it with his luggage. So he gathered all the courage and he walked up to his neighbor. He's never spoken to his neighbor in his entire life. So he asked his neighbor, "If you don't mind me asking you, sir, where are you going?" And the neighbor said, "Well, I got this new job and I'm moving out of town." And he said, "Oh, out of town? If you don't mind, can you just drop me off at TYC Theatre, because anyway it's on your way." And the neighbor told him that all these years you've never spoken to me and now you want a favor. Steve was all embarrassed. He said, "I'm really sorry about my behavior, but today I need this favor. If you don't mind, please give me a lift." And the neighbor, being a nice person, said, "All right, no problem, hop in." And the neighbor dropped Steve on time at the theater. Steve was all excited. He walked up to the manager and said, "Okay, I'm here, let's do this." And the manager said, "Listen, I'm really sorry. Today we're really busy. Unfortunately, I won't be able to give you prime time, but what I can do for you is give you a slot right at the end. But that'll be only for 5 minutes. Take it or leave it. But if you decide to take it, make sure you do a good job out of it, because there are a lot of directors out here today, and if you make a fool of yourself, you'll never be able to become an actor, at least not in this town." So Steve was in two minds, should I do this or not? But he said, "Today is the day. I have to go on that stage and I will entertain everybody." And that's what he did. He was hilarious. He started cracking a lot of jokes. Everybody liked the humor. He started talking about the funny side of politics. He started mimicking a lot of Hollywood actors, and everybody loved his humor. In fact, the organizers gave him another 5 minutes because he was so funny, and he was a huge success. There were some directors out there who also liked his humor, and the very next day they gave him some assignments. 6 months later, he was a huge success. Not only that, he was also so happy that he was given an opportunity and he grabbed it with both hands. So what's the moral of the story? The thing is, our mind is a very complicated gadget. It has a lot of wires in it. It has a positive side and it has a negative side. So every time we receive a referral, we put it into this processing unit, and based on our personality is how we approach these sales leads. Look at Steve's case. When the manager called him early in the morning, his negative side said, "Just go back to sleep because there's no money involved here," and he went back to sleep. But his positive side said, "Listen, grab this opportunity, see what you can get out of it." And that's why he started walking on the street. Imagine this, he has never spoken to his neighbor, but he saw an opportunity, he walked up to his neighbor and he got a lift. The manager very clearly told him, "Listen, don't take it up if you're not confident." But you know what? He said, "If I don't do it today, it'll never happen," because his positive side said, "Take the plunge and see where you get." Even in my case, once I was driving to this meeting, and it was a 1 hour drive, and I knew nothing is going to come out of this meeting because the client was not very big. But I went there anyway, and when I was talking to the client, there was this person in the room who was listening to my business proposal. And after the meeting, he told me, "Why don't you come to my office tomorrow and we'll see what we can do with your proposal?" So I went there next day, and he gave me this potential sales lead that I basically started exploring, and it turned out to be a very good business for me. This is the thing: every time you receive a sales lead, you should go that extra mile. You should do your due diligence, and you should go and explore the opportunity. Who knows what you're going to get? That's the point. Every time you receive a sales lead, that turns into an opportunity, and that opportunity can turn into business. In conclusion, look at Steve's case. When he got an opportunity, he decided to do something about it, even though his negative side kept telling him, "Listen, there's no point because there's no money involved." But his positive side said, "If you don't explore the opportunity, who knows what you're going to get?" He decided to go into the tunnel because he knew there was light on the other end. And I suggest that you also do the same thing every time you receive a sales lead. Explore it, and who knows, the opportunity can turn into business. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it.